Welcome to Mama Tusa, Conversations with a Midwife. I'm your host, Atusa Benji. A quick note before today's episode. This show talks about birth, life, death, and all the complexities in between. My goal is always to share stories that leave you feeling empowered, but please know that some topics may be challenging or deeply moving. Also, while I'm an experienced midwife, I'm not your midwife, and the information on this podcast is not intended to be medical advice. Please consult your healthcare provider when considering what is best for you as an individual. Now, without further ado, I hope you enjoy the show. Hey everyone, I'm so excited for today's episode. I had the best conversation with my guest, Selah Victor. We talked about being a boy mom, content creation, giving birth to an 11-pound baby, having 2 cesareans, and then having a vaginal birth with a very supportive physician, and what was that like in her body and her psyche, what it was like for her partner, and even in the postpartum period. If you want to support the show, make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube or give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. This show wouldn't be possible without you, and we really appreciate the support. If you want to stay in touch, check me out on Instagram or Substack. Links in the description. Now, without further ado, here's my conversation with Selah Victor. My guest today is Selah Victor, who is a mama of 3, content creator, comedian, actress, voiceover artist. She's actually the voice of Chloe Bourgeois on the Disney Plus show, Miraculous, Ladybug. You are a busy lady, my friend.
Too busy.
I was just looking over all the things that you do. You know what I love is the creativity part of it. Because last night I was scrolling through Instagram and I was looking at some of your content, and so much of it is something I've done or something I've seen, but I've never been able to put it like that.
Aww.
And then watching it was like, oh my God, this is the best. It was the best. And then I got this little spiritual moment where I was like, I wonder, like, God watches me and is like, you're so silly, Toos. Look at you.
Yes. I mean, I definitely think God has a sense of humor.
For sure. For sure. Tell me about your kids.
Well, I have 3 boys, ages 2, 5, and 7. Almost 3. The youngest is almost 3. But
boy mom.
Yeah, boy mom, yes.
And you're acting.
I'm acting, yes. Everyone asks me, how long have you been acting? I'm like, I've been acting my whole life. Like, ever since I can remember being a little girl, you know, in plays or theater or whatever. And so, yeah. And then moving here, I focused a lot more on TV and film and voiceover.
Yeah.
But yes, still acting, and then the content creation.
What brought you to content creation?
So actually, it was during the pandemic, which is so many people's story, you know, that was like a time when we all had time. But I just remember a friend of mine was like, you know, you're posting anyway, you might as well make money doing it. And I was like, did somebody say make money? What? I love making money. Yeah. So I started thinking, well, yeah, I should try to work with these brands and try to get brand deals or whatever. So looking back, it's really funny how I had, I don't know, such chutzpah and confidence that I could do this.
Well, you're natural for sure.
Well, I did have a platform from Miraculous, but it was only, I think, like 5,000 followers on Instagram. It wasn't that much. But I remember my first goal, I was like, I'm going to get 10,000 followers so I can do the swipe up link. Remember the swipe up link?
Yes.
So that was my goal.
Yes.
And so I just started researching and kind of studying social media and learning. And I'm so glad I did, because especially as an actor, it's just been such a great creative outlet for me versus waiting for the phone to ring, waiting to get a job from somebody else. You're giving the power to somebody else, right? For your creativity versus taking it in your own hands and just creating.
So empowering.
I love that. Yeah, it's empowering. Exactly.
And you get to choose your own lighting, choose your own makeup, choose your own outfit, choose when you want to drop it, how you want to drop it, how you want to edit it, how you want to look.
Yeah.
It's something that you can't do when you're hired as an actor and it's for commercial or this or that.
And get paid. Sometimes not sometimes, most times I make more than I would as an actor now, which is crazy. It's such a different world now. You know, and I could say, like, on average, I think I have 5 to 10 million views a month. Okay. So that's pretty good. It's a lot. Versus, like, not, by the way, I will take any job acting. I will take no lines. I will take one line. I am so grateful. I just want to be creating, But that being said, it's not like 10 million people are waiting to watch my one line. It's exciting,
It's so exciting. And I love yesterday we were talking about identity a little bit, right? The boy mom identity. Tell me about that.
Yes. Well, that was a huge wake-up call. I didn't see that for my life. I always think the people that are really sure that they're going to have one gender always get the opposite, right? Like, yes. I always envisioned me and my daughter, and I don't know why. Like, I think it's because my mom and I are so close. Aww. Like, we're like best friends. I call her every day. So sweet. I just pictured, I had my daughter's name picked out. I had everything picked out. So when I found out I was having all these boys, I'm like, wait, what? Like,
how did that happen?
Yeah. And I should have, I don't know. I was trained for this. I was prepared for this. I have 6 brothers.
Wow.
So I do feel like God was like, you are equipped.
You had a dress rehearsal for sure.
I had a dress rehearsal. I did have a sister too, though. So I'm like, okay, where's my girl?
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, maybe that's more on that later.
That's more on that in a moment.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
It's funny because I have 3 daughters.
Oh, you do?
I have 3 girls, and my first grandchild is a girl.
Okay.
And then came a boy after like 35 years. So I was just like, I don't really even know what to
what do I do
with a boy.
Yes.
And they are different. No matter what, what you say. In my experience, it has been different.
So different.
He is just and his personality is different, but also like way more physical.
Yes.
Like one time I was watching him and he walked into the pantry and picked up an empty Arrowhead bottle. Like those are big 5-gallon bottles.
Yes.
And threw it. And I was like, I've never had that experience with any of my toddlers before.
Yeah.
So it was a whole new experience for me. And also like changing them and
everything.
What do they wear? Like it was a whole to-do.
So
I'm getting better now, though. He's almost 3.
It's like the gross factor. I used to have this bit in my stand-up where I was talking about how gross boys are. It's like the spitting and the farting and the like why?
Yeah, they're different for sure.
Different.
It's a little bit different.
I think it's funny.
So then that became part of your content.
Yes, of course. And it is a way to cope, I think. Like, it's like, I think I love being a boy mom now. I love my boys. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Yeah. But like, it is funny, right? Like there's just so many moments, especially because obviously I'm a girl. Like it's the conflict of those two.
And the dynamic with your husband.
Oh yeah, that too.
That's a whole interesting thing too, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's conversations with a midwife, right, Selah?
Yes.
So I want to hear about your births.
Okay, I love telling my birth stories. How much time
Please.
do you have? I'm just kidding.
We have all day.
Okay, great.
All the way through Sunday.
So my oldest, he's 7 now. He was almost 11 pounds at birth.
What?
He's 10 pounds, 15 ounces. Yes.
Wow.
And here's the crazy thing. Like I look back at pictures, I wasn't even that big. Like, you get progressively bigger with each baby as far as your belly.
Yeah.
So I was like still teaching fitness classes. I was a personal trainer and a fitness instructor too before kids.
Well, of course.
So I was like teaching and I was super fit and just had this like tight belly, So it was crazy that he was so big. I didn't have diabetes. I didn't have any of that.
That is a big baby. The biggest baby I ever caught as a midwife was 10'4". And looking at this mom, you would never. It was almost, and I told her, I said, I feel like you have a deep cavity. Like part of the baby was like concaved on the inside because it was not on the outside. Like we estimated that fetal weight at like 8.5 and she was straight 10'4". Yeah, it was wild. So I've seen that. I've seen that happen before.
I just had my niece and she was 10, I want to say 10'5", and home birth.
Wow.
I know. So I think my family, my grandma, there's a rumor, my great-grandma had a baby that was like almost 12 pounds. I don't know if
so
that's
it might
true.
run on that. It might just run on that
but
line.
I think it is. And it was crazy because they kept measuring him before. They're like, this baby's getting big. And I was a week late.
Mm-hmm.
And I even went to see a specialist, and the specialist literally got it to the pound. I mean, it was crazy. Dr. Stephen Rad.
Yes. I know
He
Dr.
was
Rad.
like maybe 2 ounces
He's one of our collaborating docs, actually.
Oh, he is?
Very midwife
I
friendly,
love him.
very kind, very respectful.
Yes.
Stephen Rad.
He's the best.
Cedars.
He's so
lovely.
good. And I went to him. He did this thorough ultrasound. And
he's very thorough.
Very thorough. It was like 3 hours.
He's very thorough, yeah.
And he said, he was like, this baby is, I think he said 11.2. So he was like a few ounces off. Yeah, and he said, I really highly recommend a C-section because the shoulder dystocia, and this is your first baby. You don't have your pelvic, all this stuff. And so I found peace with it. I was very upset. Like, It was not what I had in mind. I had a drug-free birth. I had the whole, Bradley method, all this stuff.
Bradley, you took the Bradley method?
I read the book.
I used to teach the Bradley method.
Way.
Oh, I love you even more now. Bradley method. Love the Bradley method. It has its flaws. It's written in a little bit of a 1950s
I was going to say it's
doctor
old
vibe,
school.
old school.
Yes.
But the knowledge he has in there is, I feel like everything that has been a spinoff on baby's positioning and how women should eat in pregnancy and high protein, was all based off of that. And what did he base it off? What he learned from the midwives.
Oh, yeah.
So his knowledge was actually from the midwives that he worked with. And like ancient ancestral knowledge that he in the 50s as a male physician brought into the hospital, and his colleagues hated him. Like it was like, oh, Dr. Bradley, like eat and walk in labor, sure. At a time when nobody did that, or no one talked about women about what they were eating and higher protein and what the needs of the fetus are. But he brought it back, and then he started having lower C-section rates and better outcomes. Mm-hmm. And then his colleagues hated him even more. But then Hathaway started teaching Bradley, mostly in California, and I guess it grew. But all of that information that I taught as a Bradley teacher 20 years ago is now like spun off into like all the various methods that we see about fetal positioning and moms moving and being healthy. So I love that you did that.
Yes. Yeah. And I did hypno babies. I did the whole 9 yards. Like I was ready, I knew everything.
You were in it.
And then I just had to make peace real quick because I was a week late and, all this. And then so they scheduled, I think, he was born on a Wednesday. They scheduled the C-section for Friday, but this was like Tuesday. Okay. We scheduled it for Friday, I think. And then that night my water broke. And there was, still was like, oh no, I'm pushing this baby out. He's coming out, Yeah. My water broke, but there was meconium in the water.
Baby poop?
Mm-hmm. So they're like, well, you got to come in. And I had a doula and she's like, you better go in. Yeah. Looking back, I wish she hadn't said that. Mm-hmm. I wish I would have waited still and just seen what my body did because it's not emergent in that minute, but she made me feel like I need to get there right away, know. So of course, as soon as I get there, they're like, well, got to have a C-section. This is emergent.
Yeah. Dangerous.
Yeah. And I didn't know what I didn't know now. I mean, when I get to the third, you'll know why I'm saying that. I feel like I could be a midwife. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But
come on over.
But yeah, I feel like I know a lot more now. And anyway, so I get there and the C-section was great. Everything was great. And then 12 hours into his life, they were like, his blood sugar is dropping. We need to get him into the NICU.
It's a big baby.
Big baby. And he was used to eating all the time. And I had plenty of milk. It wasn't even that. Yeah. It was just big baby. Yeah. So he was there for 5 days, which was, I know, so horrible and hard, especially recovering from a C-section, all this.
And they need a little IV and it's so much.
The whole thing.
It's so much.
So then, but we got through. Then the second baby, flash forward 2 years, and I should tell you, the first baby I had through IVF, and then we tried for a year to get pregnant with number 2. We couldn't, so I emailed the fertility doctor, let's put in the second embryo. We had another boy, by the way. So she said, okay, great, let me know when your first day of your last cycle was. And I was like, oh, wait a second, I haven't started my period. So I checked and I was pregnant. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It was the crazy, and it was Christmas Eve that I checked.
What a gift.
So I wrapped it in a present and gave it to my husband. It was awesome. I know. It was like perfect.
Goosebumps.
Everybody was like, oh,
beautiful.
And we did it in front of the family. I know.
That is like, when was your LMP? Wait.
I don't know.
I think I might be 6 weeks pregnant.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I was 6 weeks pregnant. Exactly.
Love.
It's crazy. So
that's such a sweet
that was
story.
natural.
Yeah.
And I was like determined. I am having a VBAC. I researched. I didn't do as much research as I should have looking back because something called the pandemic started. Yeah. So I was just in this was like everything. Your whole life was in upheaval pretty much.
A real bright spot for obstetrics too.
Oh yeah.
It was dark.
And in fact, I remember one of my first appointments with the OB, I was like, how long do you think this is is this gonna affect my birth? It was March and he was born, it was due in August. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, don't worry. By the time you get birth, it'll be over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, meanwhile, my husband barely made it into the C-section room delivery room because they weren't allowing husbands. Like
Yep.
it was crazy.
Yeah, it was great.
I know.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Awful.
So anyway, I did as much as I could, but again, didn't know what I didn't know about a VBAC. I know a lot more now. And unfortunately, she said, the doctor, who I love, actually, she's still my OB. She didn't deliver my third. That's another story. Yeah. But she said, your waters are low. And she did say, we need to get this baby out early. It was about 10 days early.
Okay.
And
term.
Yeah. And so she's like, let's get him out tonight. And I said, no, I'm not ready, Yeah. And she said, well, you could go to the hospital and get an IV fluid, which I should have done looking back. But that scared me and I didn't do enough research. I don't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. So I just said, okay, it sounds like I just need to get this baby out. So we went. Everything seemed fine. My first C-section was fine. Yeah. We go in and something happens, which I still am not totally understanding. His head moved, like where she almost cut the placenta or something. No, I don't know. It became very emergent in the C-section, in the OR. And she starts getting frantic, calls in a bunch of people. She handled it perfectly. Like everything was fine, obviously. But it was very emergent. People were yelling. I didn't know what was happening. I thought he was not alive. I thought maybe something was going to happen to me. I hear my husband crying. Like everything's just crazy. And you're on drugs, you know.
You can't move.
You can't
have
move.
A blue screen in front of you.
Exactly. So you can hear my voice in the video. I'm like, is he okay? There's tears running down my face as they're putting him in my arms for 2 seconds. And then they rush him to the NICU, Yeah. All of this. So
did you ever find out what it was?
Yes. Basically, that's where I still I should ask her next time I see her to really explain. I think his head moved from where she thought it was. So she had to make a bigger incision. And that had to happen very quickly because of where the placenta was.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Wow.
I know. And she did explain it many times. Postpartum, you're like,
wow. God bless the surgeons.
I know. And she is amazing.
Intense.
But it was intense.
That is intense. And a very controlled environment where you have a nursing team and doctors and blood banks
and Cedars.
Thank God.
It's
not lacking resources for sure.
Exactly. I remember hearing my husband ask the anesthesiologist, is everything okay? And nobody answered him for what felt like eternity. So that was really scary. Like, oh, is everything okay?
And they're almost like two separate units, which when my clients need cesarean sections, or I like to call them abdominal births, I counsel them a lot on like what to expect, what they're going to see, what it's going to be like. I think what a lot of people don't realize is that the anesthesia team is separate from the obstetrical team. Right. So the anesthesia doctor, the anesthesiologist is sitting by your head or right behind your head, and they are almost like they have like the cockpit of all the drugs, all the vitals, what's happening, keeping you safe, making sure blood pressure is stable, which is a big thing.
Yep.
Monitoring nausea, making sure that you're numb enough. All of those things are anesthesia. But the surgical team, which is the obstetrical team, which there's always two doctors performing a C-section, sometimes a resident also who's in there learning. They're separate teams. Yeah. They're responsible for different things. So literally the anesthesiologist may not actually be able to see
what's going on
over the curtain to see exactly what's going on, but their job is to manage all of like the vitals and the stability of the mom, versus the obstetrician's job is to communicate with them about this is what we're seeing, what we're doing. Right. But a lot of times he may not have even seen what was happening.
Didn't even know.
Right.
But of course, like you're laying there going, what's going on?
Yeah, you're the doctor. What's happening over there? And it's so cold in there. I always counsel people about how cold it is.
I was shivering and spasming. Yep.
The shakes are, the shakes are, it's cold. They take a baby out of your body, so your cavity is now empty, which actually happens with a vaginal birth too, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true.
The drugs make you shaky.
Yeah,
then the adrenaline of it all. And some people are actually vomiting while their baby is being delivered.
I vomited immediately after. Yeah, both times I think.
It's a lot.
Actually, all 3 times too.
It's not a cakewalk, you know, like, oh, she had a C-section. Well, but she had
also my first one, even though I did, now that you mention, I do think I vomited the first one, but the first one felt like a cakewalk compared to this. Like, interesting. I'm like, how did this happen? It was so easy before. And I had my baby the whole time. They never took him off my chest, even in the recovery room. Like the whole thing was amazing. This one, I felt like my husband went with the baby to the NICU. I'm all alone, sitting there recovering. Like it was so traumatic. My eyes filled with tears, like thinking about it. Like,
of course.
So then flash forward, my husband's like, after this one was in the NICU, my husband was like, we're done. We are not having any more children. We are done.
Too much.
Too much. I'm like, I agree. I can
Why was the
never.
second one the NICU?
Oh, because his lungs, he couldn't breathe, breathing problems.
Oh my gosh.
I know, which actually the older two have asthma too.
Okay.
So that, and my husband has asthma. So that could have been. But I also think, with a C-section, their lungs don't develop as much. They explained that like a sponge is not going through the vaginal canal in and out.
Exactly. Oh, I like that analogy, like a sponge.
Yeah, it's like it
That's
keeps
cool.
getting.
Yeah, I love
isn't that good?
Yeah, I love that. So the baby's lungs are actually filled with lung fluid. They're not actually filled with amniotic fluid. People think it's amniotic fluid, but it's its own special fluid that is made by the lungs because babies are not moving air, right? They live in water.
They're in the water.
They live in water. So they oxygenate through the mother's blood, through the umbilical cord. So the lungs actually don't need to work until the baby comes out.
Right.
So one of the benefits of a vaginal birth or even a cesarean birth where the mom has labored a little bit is that the contractions, it's not only the birth canal, but it's also the contractions in the uterus sort of squeeze the baby, squeeze the baby, squeeze the baby. So it forces some of that fluid out, but it also prepares baby for life on earth.
Exactly.
Because it's like, wake up, hello.
Yeah.
We're no longer going to be at the all-inclusive buffet where you're like freeloading off the placenta and floating and getting real big, right? It's time to like get out.
And that was his problem too, the blood sugar as well. Micah, my second, was the lungs and the blood sugar.
And the blood sugar
but
together.
Interestingly, you're right. My VBAC, my third, it didn't have either of those problems.
Interesting, right? So when they come down the birth canal, I always joke that they go from the 405 to the canyon. So or the 101 to the canyon. So they go from 5 lanes to like one very narrow lane. And now they have to navigate that, which is kind of bony, and they have to figure out their head positions and stuff, but they're getting squashed and the cord is getting squashed and the baby's getting squashed. So they tend to breathe better when they've done some labor, and preferably if they've been born vaginally.
It's so great, isn't it?
But you have to mitigate that with all the other risks that we're facing. So
that's why there was such a high death rate. With my own great grandmother died giving birth to my grandfather.
Did she?
Yes.
Wow.
So I get it, and maybe it was because he was so
thank
big.
you.
Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah,
he was a giant man. But I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
And this one, by the way, was if he would have gone full term or late, like my oldest, he definitely would have been 11 pounds. He was 8'11"? Yeah, 8'11".
This is number 2.
This is number 2, yeah.
Number 2.
So he was 10 days early, plus not late. So he probably would have been like his brother. And he was gigantic as a I mean, he's still a very, very big boy.
A chunky baby.
So, chunky baby.
So he was in the NICU?
NICU also.
5 days?
Yes, I think about 5.
Oh,
I know.
so hard.
Which is crazy because 5 is not that long compared to a lot of people. But that felt like
every day
eternity.
feels like
I know.
Every day. And I always say that postpartum standard time is very different than normal day standard time.
It's so true.
Each day in the postpartum period feels like a year.
Yes.
And if your baby is not in your arms with you feeding at home, it can feel like a decade.
It felt like a decade.
I'm sorry.
Add on to that
twice.
for number 2, it's the pandemic. So we can't be in there together.
Right.
One at a time. We have to be masked. So I'm trying to breastfeed.
So stressful.
Wearing a mask. Has tubes everywhere. Both babies, because they were in the NICU, it was very, very horrible breastfeeding start because I would get engorged. I had so much milk, but they couldn't get it with those tubes, you know?
Yeah,
so it was
latch properly.
It was so hard.
Those babies are really, the babies and the mothers are behind the 8 ball.
Yes.
Their recovery takes longer. It takes longer to catch up. And, typically the solution is to do a lot of skin to skin when the baby gets home and just put the baby on you and let them feel your heartbeat and your breathing and your warmth and have access to the buffet, and they just tend to do better. But those babies and those mommies have a longer recovery.
We did. And the second one too, it was nice because I already had a baby. I knew what to expect. So I wasn't so uptight about like, he has to only breastfeed. No, no bottle, no. He didn't have formula, but I was able to pump and give him a bottle so that I could rest and not.
Absolutely. You got to recover.
Nice.
2 C-sections is not a joke.
Oh my gosh.
It's not a joke. It's
hard.
major abdominal surgery.
So hard.
It is major abdominal surgery.
And I got this is my 4th hernia from this C-section. And of course, diastasis and C-section hernia. So now I'm like left with a who knows what from midsection.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are all things
all
that can
things.
happen with it.
Yeah.
Decided to have a third baby.
Well, no,
Oh.
we didn't decide. God
keeps getting
decided for us.
better.
Oh yeah, it gets better. So then my husband's like, we're done. We're never having any more kids. I'm like, I agree. So flash forward 2 years. I'm 41. I'm old, right? And by the way, I forgot to say, it took us like 7 years of fertility and trying to get our first. It wasn't like we planned to be older parents. A lot of people online are really mean and they're like, you should have had kids. Even certain family members were unkind words. You're too old. Blah, blah. I'm like, it's not like this was our choice, you know?
Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then I'll never forget. My husband's going to kill me if he ever listens to this. But he's like at Walgreens and he's like, we need to start wearing condoms or do something because I would never go on the pill or anything.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I hated it. And so I'm like, what? That's crazy. We've had fertility problems. We're 41. We're not going to get pregnant. Like, are you insane? And I track my ovulation.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
And
we're
God's
fine.
giggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
God's like, more content
Totally.
from me.
Exactly. He's like, where do I begin? And so
Love.
then flash forward 1 month later, and I'm like, wait, what? I am pregnant? It was crazy. The reaction I posted, my husband's reaction was insane. Like, he could not believe it.
Sometimes you need that help with the first one, but then the body just sort of gets the message and catches up. I've told this story on the podcast before. I'll tell you again. I'll tell my viewers again because I think it's the best story. Many years ago, I was sitting at the hair salon and there was this beautiful pregnant lady next to me. What do? Start talking to her because I talk to all pregnant people.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, is it? She's like, yeah, I'm having my C-section on Monday. I think it was like Saturday or something. And she's like, I got a mani and a pedi and I'm ready for my C-section. I was like, oh, congratulations. Like, is it your first? She goes, no, it's my fourth baby. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. And how old are your other ones? 10 months.
Wait, what?
And I said, so your third one is 10 months, but what about number one and number two? How old are they? She said, they're all 10 months.
Oh my gosh.
She had
triplets?
10-month-old triplets.
Oh my gosh.
She was 9 months pregnant. Okay. She had a fertility journey, had IVF, got triplets, and then thought she wasn't going to get pregnant. So she didn't use birth control. Sure enough, at that famous 6-week visit when they told them they could be intimate again, the first time they had sex, she was pregnant.
What?
They had 4 babies in 10 months.
This is crazy.
So, yeah, word to the wise, right?
Yeah, if you don't want a baby, you better be careful.
A couple things. One, just because you're not getting a period, it doesn't mean you can't get pregnant.
Right.
Because you could be silently ovulating. Mm-hmm. 2, just because you needed help with one, it doesn't mean that all the other ones have to come that way. And sometimes they do. But sometimes the body just rolls into gear and it's like, oh, thanks for the help. I'm good now.
Well, especially like I had endometriosis, which I didn't know until we were trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
And they say that pregnancy can kind of like cure.
It helps it.
Yeah, exactly.
Pregnancy can help endometriosis.
So that, in my case, totally makes sense.
It's wild.
Crazy. So
oh my gosh. So number 3.
So
okay. Baby number 3.
And I am convinced this is my girl, right?
Yeah,
like I'm like, oh, I know why this happened. You try to assign meaning to something.
Sure.
And I'm like feeling different. I feel like I'm carrying different and all this.
It's your third baby, not because it's a girl.
Exactly. It's because it's number 3, right? That's so true. Right. I know.
But we make stuff up. We make so much. We're so good at making stuff up.
Know.
Yep.
And I have this huge gender reveal party planned because I know it's a girl. You know? And then,
did you cry?
Well, thank God. A week before I go to this doctor, which I'll explain why I had to go to this specialist, which was a very clear, one of those very 3D ultrasound things.
Yeah.
And I see the penis. And I'm like, I show my best friend who's like so good at reading ultrasounds.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, that's a penis, all right. And I'm like, no. And I had just tears. So I got it out then. And at the gender reveal, I just acted like, you know, I already knew. So it was good.
Yeah.
It was very good.
You needed that, yeah.
I'm so glad that I knew. And of course, he's just the most delicious. Like every day he tells me, you're the best mommy. I just love you. You're a princess. Like, it's like so cute.
Oh, I love that.
He's so wonderful.
Delicious
I can't even
imagine
a different, you know what I mean? So, and the 3 of them are really, it's such a cute little team. And, you know, I don't know. It's great to have the cohesive unit of being a boy mom. And that being said, oh, okay. Well, I should tell you the birth story first. But
tell me. Yeah. And I love the 3 boys because I feel like boys maybe have a different dynamic together than girls because the other night my husband and I were going on a date night and my youngest, Hannah, goes, where are you guys going?
I love that name.
I was like, we're going on a date. And she goes, again? And I was like, again? Like, we haven't gone out in a while. She's like, you guys are always going out together. And I was like, well, it might be a good thing,
That's
right?
good.
And then I said, well, by the way, you know how you and your sisters get together and you talk shit about us? Daddy and I get together, we talk shit about you.
That's hilarious.
And then she was like, we never talk shit about Daddy.
Wait, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So I know
that would be a great bit.
Of them, they have this little like moms
Daddy.
on one, just letting you know if you call, that's what's going on.
My.
Yeah, like mom's been at a birth, don't call. You know,
so
mom's in a good mood today. You know, like I know they have their little like
yes.
communication about me.
About
so
you.
I wonder how it is with boys, because that's how it was in my house for sure. It still is.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I could see that. Like I have 6 brothers, like I said,
Yeah.
and so actually 3 older brothers and 3 younger. So I really have a good perspective
Wow.
on, and they don't ever talk bad about my mom. You're right. Like they love her.
So
they just
funny.
worship her.
Yeah, never talk shit about Daddy.
Yeah.
If you like Mama Tusa, check out Actually Useful, a show about why the tech world is broken and what we can do to fix it. Each episode, hosts Ariel and AJ talk to some of the smartest people in tech who are trying to build a better internet. If you're angry at Uber for jacking up prices, can't believe Netflix kicked you off your ex's account, or don't understand why tech CEOs can act like shadow politicians, Actually Useful is the show for you. My favorite is their episode on AI. I learned a lot about the climate cost of ChatGPT and how this AI craze is more of a hype trend than a real advancement in tech. It's a big topic, so I appreciate the team for breaking it down for their listeners. Check it out every other Thursday, wherever you listen. Anyway, tell me about this third pregnancy.
Well,
I'm so excited.
Well, this is exciting because the second one, as I said, was very traumatic. And when I found out I was pregnant, I was excited, but I was also like, oh no, how am I going to get this baby out? Because I am not going back in that OR. No. I'm never having that.
Wow.
You will have to put me under because I will not be going through that again.
Too much.
It's too much. Yeah. And it's not that I ever was like poo-pooing people's birth trauma or anything. I didn't understand when people would say that to me before. And now I understand because I was like, I couldn't even fathom, how am I going to get back in that room? So I was.
It's a level of PTSD there,
it's
too.
It's PTSD,
sure.
yeah. And I am like, I'm going to have a VBAC. I don't care what you tell me. I'm going to do this, you know? Yeah. So I knew my doctor would not do it. My current OB, I knew she barely was excited about me wanting to do it. She was supportive, but she was like, you're not going to be able to do it. For the second one, I didn't think she really wanted me to do it because I make such big babies.
Right.
So I didn't go to, oh no.
Big babies on their own are not a risk factor.
No, exactly. Thank you for saying that. I know that now, but this is what they tell you, that it is a risk.
And it's your first one, and it's just.
Exactly.
It's also, you're so vulnerable. In those last few days of pregnancy, you are at your most mama bear. Like, I will do anything to protect this baby. So as soon as words like too big, you can't, get stuck, we don't know, this is not, then you're like, just do the easiest thing. Just do it. Just save my baby.
Exactly.
Of course. 1,000,000%.
Same thing with my second. Even though I felt like I knew more then, I still felt that fear, but with my third, I was like, no. I'm not having this anymore. Yeah. I'm going to research. I knew a friend that did do a VBAC after 2. So I talked to her.
It's called a VBAC 2C.
VBAC 2C. Exactly.
2C, yeah.
Yep. And she gave me a list. Oh, actually, I did call my OB. And as luck, I guess, would have it, is she wasn't delivering anymore.
Oh,
so I was like, okay, well, I crossed that off. I'm definitely not going to go there.
Yeah.
So I went to, and again, I love this doctor. She's wonderful. It just was like, I knew that this wasn't the right fit.
It wasn't aligned.
It wasn't aligned.
It wasn't aligned, yeah.
So I decided to go down the road of interviewing, I think 5 or 6 different doctors and see if they would be supportive. And I realized very quick there's a huge difference between being supportive versus like helping you achieve your goal. Mm-hmm. Like they're like, yeah, I support this. Yeah. But it's like, no. What are we going to do together so that you can do this?
Yeah, love.
And that was pretty impossible to find in Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is huge.
It's a big city.
We're
not lacking OBs for sure.
No, we are not. And there was no one that would do this. They said my age, because I was 41 at the time, my history of big babies, and obviously the 2 C-sections.
Yeah, and maybe that whatever happened with the second C-section where they nicked something or almost nicked something or something happened.
They were worried about that for uterine rupture, which is the biggest cause for concern with a VBAC 2C. Yep. And so I found 2 doctors that said yes. Actually, I found 3. One was in Long Beach, which was not ideal. And then, but he was wonderful. Dr. Shavira. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, Shavira. Lovely.
Love him. But I was like, I don't want to go to Long Beach. It's too stressful. Yeah. And one was literally like walking distance from my house.
Love.
And then one I had already visited many times, but I wasn't crazy about his personality and bedside manner. So I was like, I know he'll do it. Oh, I had started listening to the VBAC Link podcast, and there were a few LA women on there who had used this doctor that I wasn't crazy about his personality. Yeah. And I was like, I know they used him, but I don't really want to go to him. So I went to the one by my house. Yeah. Who was lovely. And I happened to know his wife, this whole thing. So it was great. However, his stipulation was like, listen, I want you to see my specialist to monitor the uterine lining. Okay. And he monitored it. Great. And then around 30 weeks.
And the thickness of the scar.
Exactly. The thickness of the scar. Yeah. Actually, no, it was about 33 weeks. We were at 33 weeks because that's when I had the gender reveal. That's why I know, because it was that special ultrasound.
Yes, with the very clear penis.
Very clear penis.
Yes, got you.
And he said there is about an eighth of a centimeter? Yeah, window where I'm worried it could rupture. And I said, well, what are the chances? And he said, I'd say there is like a 1% chance. And I was like, okay, so there's a 99% chance that I won't. And that's like so classic my personality. Yeah. Like, let's look on the bright side.
Yeah, well, it's real. Yeah.
I don't want to look on the negative side. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, but we can't ignore that 1% chance. I'm like, yeah, but there's a 1% chance of anything happening. Like in a C-section, there's a 1% chance his head moved and she had to make a bigger incision.
Totally. Or hemorrhage or infection or any of those things.
I had another friend in a C-section who literally almost died because, anyway, it's like
blood loss.
All things. Yes. So like third C-sections are not perfect either. Nope. The risk is there.
You got to mitigate the risk of both.
Exactly. So I said, well, I'd rather take the risk here and try the natural way, like a birth.
I love this informed consent conversation you're having with this doctor.
Right. And he said, well, I can't like condone that essentially. Yeah. And so the other doctor, not the specialist, but my OB. Said, listen, if he doesn't sign off, I can't sign off. Right. And I just sobbed in his office. I'm like, 33 weeks, what am I going to do? And by the way, I had the most amazing doula. I forgot to tell you, Joanna.
Oh, she's lovely.
Yes. Who was there for me the whole time, advising me. And she and Dr. Berlin. Yeah. Love Dr. Berlin.
He's great.
Who I was seeing very consistently this time.
So I had him on the podcast a little while ago.
He's so great. I was on his podcast too.
You were? He's amazing.
He's amazing.
Yeah, good man.
And Joanna and Dr. Berlin both advised me to go back to the original doctor who I didn't love his bedside manner. Yeah. And they said, listen, he gets the job done. Yeah, he does. You want the best in VBACs?
I'm imagining who it is. I think he does get the job done. Yes.
And so I went back with a whole different perspective. He doesn't have to be my best friend.
Nope. You don't have to have Shabbat dinner with him for
exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
I just want the job.
Exactly.
And boy, did he do it. He was the Michael Jordan of doctors. I was so happy with my decision. He basically, from the minute I was in there, he's like, your due date's March 30th, and they had it at March 17th. Woo! I know, he was born on March 27th.
That's a big difference.
So this makes sense. It's a huge difference.
Because you have longer cycles.
I don't remember now. Oh, no, I knew why I knew my due date is because I knew the exact day we conceived.
You knew your conception date.
So I was like, there's no way it's March 17th. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So he agreed with me. Right. And then he also...
You would have been like 44 weeks pregnant.
Exactly. And they would never have let me. They would have been doing all this stuff. So I wanted a drug-free birth, which I did.
Wow.
And I labored for 48 hours. 48 hours. And he let me. And the doctors there and the nurses were not very supportive.
They weren't happy.
No. And he was just like, let her do it. She can do it. He was beyond supportive. Like he was on my team, and he knew I could do it. And so, especially because I should have mentioned, especially if people are listening and want to do a VBAC 2C.
Yeah.
I had never labored before. I had never labored.
Exactly. This is like a first time. This is like a first labor.
Yes.
So 48 hours is not
exactly.
It's not unusual.
It's not unusual.
And the uterus is a little more tired after C-sections too, because it has the scar on it. So it's not contracting as effectively as if it wasn't cut into twice. It has a scar on it. So the fact that your uterus did it means you have a strong, healthy body. Yeah.
I am strong.
Did it. Yeah,
all those years
absolutely.
of teaching 12 classes a day.
And your team came through.
Yes.
And your body came through and your psyche was in it. Yeah.
My psyche was in it. I loved it. I loved the pain. I know that's crazy, but I want to do it again. I loved it. It was exhilarating. Like,
I wonder if your fourth boy is waiting for you.
Well, okay. So that's another story. Do you want me to go into that?
No. Tell me about the delivery.
The delivery, so that it was very odd. The contractions were literally 7 to 10 minutes apart the entire birth. That's why it was so long too.
Because it was a VBAC.
Oh.
Because the uterus is very wise. If that uterus would have given you contractions 1 minute apart lasting 60 seconds or 58 seconds or whatever, your uterus would never have gotten a break and you would have had a higher chance of rupture.
Nobody's
so
ever
your
explained this to
body
me.
is very wise. It gave the uterus what it needed to get the job done.
Nobody's ever explained that. That makes so much sense.
Welcome to the Mom Tues podcast.
Yes, thank you. Well, okay, so you'll love this. They put me on max dose of Pitocin after about 24 hours.
Okay.
Max. And I didn't feel a thing different. I didn't feel anything. And the contractions didn't change. Nothing worked. It was crazy.
Fascinating.
I know. The doctor was like, this is crazy. Like, I've never seen this. So you're right. The body was very
wise.
Very wise.
Yep.
And was also awesome is that I literally, there's been a joke about me my whole life that I can fall asleep anytime, anywhere. Like in high school, college, people would make fun of me. I could just be sitting here and like fall asleep. And so in between contractions, I would take little 7-minute naps. Yeah. And I'd be in like a deep sleep. It was amazing.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that before. I actually had one woman had a baby with contractions 8 to 10 minutes apart. And the nurse came in the room. She's like, nobody delivers with contractions 8 to 10 minutes apart. She had her baby like an hour and a half later.
Oh my gosh. I believe
just what her body needed.
It was crazy. It was amazing. And there's so many details within it where they would measure me and Joanna would be like, no, you're much farther along. And she was right every time. Like, she was awesome because she really was a midwife.
She is a midwife, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's generationally a midwife.
That's what I
always
mean.
tell her, you've got like midwife DNA in your veins.
Totally.
Your mom's a midwife.
Her mom or grandma, like her aunts, everybody.
Yeah.
So she knew.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
she was so helpful and so just amazing. I tell everyone, you have to have a doula. Like, you have to.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. That ambassadorship for doulas, for sure.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And my husband appreciated it.
Of course.
Because he was amazing and he was awesome the whole birth, but he's not a doula, you know?
For sure. And he's got all his trauma from the past ones
too.
that he's holding. So I think the doula sort of steps in as a buffer too.
So great.
And how long did you push for?
I pushed for 3 hours. It was a long time.
And how big?
It was 9'5".
Okay, so you make big babies.
9'5".
We've established that.
And he did have to vacuum the head out.
Okay.
So,
and that's what OBs are trained to do.
Yeah.
So that was a safe move.
It was a safe move.
Great.
And he was great. His head is perfect despite the vacuum, which was surprising.
Amazing.
And it was amazing. What a different experience.
He's like a scientist in the delivery room. He's
totally.
Very skilled.
Very
in the zone, yeah.
Yeah, so that was amazing. The recovery was night and day. I went home 48 hours later.
VBAC 2C.
Oh my gosh. So
we have to make you a crown.
Yeah.
We have to make you a crown.
I need a crown. Yeah.
You did it.
Like, okay.
You did it.
Yeah.
You did it. What an amazing,
it was
amazing journey.
I always joke that I have done it all. Like, I've done IVF. I've done older mom. I've done C-sections. I've done vaginal births with no drugs. I've had all the. That's why, by the way, I don't ever judge anyone for wanting drugs, but I didn't want them because I had already been drugged up so much, like through IVF, through C-sections. I'm like, no more, please.
And you still had the seedlings of Bradley in the back of your.
Totally.
In the back of your head.
All the hypno
you
babies
did it
again.
All. Wow.
I did everything again. I read the book again.
Shout out.
I know.
Shout out. You know what? Shout out to not only a supportive doctor, but a doctor who like carried you and helped you and knew you could do it.
Yeah.
Before you did it.
He knew it. He was like, you're going to get this
You're going to get this baby out. Shout out to doulas and doula care. And also midwives who practice as doulas, who are doula monitrices.
Yep.
Bring an extra added amount of knowledge.
I forgot that. That's what I wanted.
Correct. Exactly. So I'm doing monitrice work now too, which I feel is so important. People don't know it's a thing. So doula monitrice work, childbirth classes that resonate with what you believe in, and then actually following what the childbirth class taught you.
And listening to podcasts like this.
Thank you.
Because it really mattered. I listened to a birth podcast every single day the entire 9 months.
There are some good ones.
Rotated,
It makes a difference what you listen to. I mean, I have people read the Ina May stuff, not because we are delivering babies in Tennessee in the 1960s on a farm, but because of the true power of all these different births and the women who did it and the women who surrounded them and supported them to do it.
Absolutely.
So it's just, I had no idea about your birth stories. I'm blown away. And I'm having a party about your VBAC 2C personally. And also, kudos. Those C-sections were hard and babies in the NICU and all of those things. And your comedy and your lightheartedness and the light you exude, you exude joy.
Well, I have number 4. You got to deliver.
You know what? Call me.
If I do number 4.
I'm so honored to have you on the podcast. I'm excited to watch you grow and keep in touch.
Yes,
keep
I
in
would
touch.
love to.
Thank you, Selah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What an amazing conversation with Selah Victor. It was really powerful to hear about Selah's experience with her deliveries, each one different, 2 cesarean sections with big babies followed by vaginal delivery with a very supportive doctor. Also a really good reminder that no matter how much we planned, we are not fully in charge. Selah was convinced she was having a girl with number 3, and 3 boys it is. That's it for this week. Thank you, Selah, for coming on the show. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. If you'd like to support Mama Tusa, please subscribe or review us, and make sure to check out my newsletter, Mama Tusa Monthly. Mama Tusa is hosted by me, Atusa Benji, and produced and edited by Josh Stretton Carlson. Our theme music is composed by Mehri Lalazarian. If you'd like to support the show, please follow and review us on Spotify and Apple, or subscribe and like us on YouTube. This show is for informational purposes only and is not intended to be medical advice. Always consult with your healthcare provider when making medical decisions. See you next Tuesday.